Welcome to ELF Center 5, the year-long theme Designs in Nature, and this unit is Camouflage.
Okay, Center 5 is hidden in plain sight. It's the outdoor center. And that's a good thing because there's not a lot in the bin, but there hopefully will be more. Maybe a book or two, or if you happen to have a book or two you want to bring in and share. So, in this bin, in this center is a bag full of objects. You are going to, ahead of time, take these objects and there will be 20 objects in here. Right now I have 12. And you're going to take 10 to 20 of them depending on the age level of your group, and you're going to hide them outside on the school grounds. My suggestion for a good place to do that would be kind of on the, it would be, I guess, the south side of the property where there's that fence that runs along, kind of high along the upper playground area. I think if you're unclear about what that is, please feel free to email us or go check it out. It's kind of a midway between the lower playground and the upper playground. If you just walk straight out, you'll run right into that fence. If you have another place you'd rather do it, you're just looking for somewhere where you can hide these objects, and it'll be challenging for students to look for them, because the whole goal is for kids to experience how difficult it is to see unexpected objects outdoors if their shape, color, or texture blends with the environment. So we're keeping on with the whole theme of camouflage and what it takes an object to be camouflaged, or an animal. When you go outside, you want the kids to be in a line. And before you start, you want to discuss with them that there are objects hidden, and that their job is to secretly, without talking, without pointing, look for those objects and try to figure out count how many they can find. So they'll walk along and they'll be just barely looking kind of down around their feet to see what they see, and have them just keep track in their head of how many objects. And then at the end of the trail, it says you can ask each student to whisper to you how many objects they saw. And then as a group, you're going to tell them how many objects are actually on the trail, and you can go back and see if they can find any more. When you get done, you could talk to the kids and have a discussion with the group about which objects were easiest to see, and have the kids talk about why they were easy or not easy to see. And then you can kind of relate the objects to animals that have similar colors or shapes to their environment, and talk about why those animals might have chosen that strategy. So let's see. Super important, at the very last rotation, you need to collect all the objects, so you yourself should count how many you put out there and make sure you get them all back, so we are environmentally friendly. If there is any remaining time, you can talk about different microhabitats that are outside, like a bush or tree bark or leaves and dirt and grass, and talk about how different animals might camouflage themselves for each of those environments. So an example might be an insect that's camouflaged in dry grass, and what color would that insect need to be camouflaged? Well, if it's dry grass, you probably want them to be tan, and if it's in the shape of the grass, it's kind of long, so you'd want it to be an elongated animal or bug. This in the outline, it talks a hawk might be camouflaged in the sky by having a light colored belly. That's counter shading. And then have students kind of come up with examples of animals that would be camouflaged in different habitats. And I think that is pretty much it. You're just trying to get the kids to think about and act and be a part of their environment, and take some of the things they've learned in the other centers and apply them to real life situations, hoping that they might take a much closer look on the next hike on their own sometime after school and see what they can find that's camouflaged. If you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com.
I just wanted to say one more quick thing about the outdoor center. Make sure you keep good track of the time, because usually the other centers are waiting for you to get back. That's all, folks.